The last thing Commander Lyra Voss expected before dying was the smell of fresh bread. The planet Karis 9 was a graveyard. Giant black trees stretched into the clouds, their branches blocking most of the sunlight. Strange blue fog covered the ground. Hidden predators watched from the darkness. Even elite soldiers feared this world. Lyra stumbled through the forest alone. Her armor was shattered. Blood ran down her arm. Every step sent pain through her body. Hours earlier, her unit had been destroyed by rebels. Her commander was dead. Her mission had failed. For the Varen Empire, failure was worse than death. She finally collapsed beside a giant tree root. The sounds of pursuit echoed through the jungle. They were coming, not to rescue her, to execute her. Lyra slowly removed the energy crystal from her wrist blade. According to tradition, a defeated warrior must end her own life before capture. Her hands trembled. She closed her eyes. Then she smelled bread. Warm, fresh, impossible. Her eyes snapped open. A small stream flowed nearby. Beyond it stood a tiny cabin built from wood and metal scraps. Smoke rose from a stone chimney. Someone was baking, on a planet nobody should survive on. Lyra stared in disbelief. The cabin door opened. A human stepped outside carrying a tray. He looked completely ordinary. Brown jacket, work boots. No visible weapons, no armor, no fear. The human noticed her immediately. Instead of reaching for a weapon, he smiled. "You're awake," he said. Lyra blinked. "Awake? You passed out near my garden." "Garden? On Karis 9. The human pointed towards several rows of vegetables growing beside the cabin. Lyra thought she was hallucinating. "You should be dead," she whispered. The human laughed. "People keep saying that." He crossed the stream and offered her a piece of bread. "I'm Noah Carter." Lyra stared at the bread. "Why are you helping me?" Noah shrugged. "You looked hungry. No empire, no politics, no demands. Just concern." The simplicity confused her more than any battlefield. Behind them, distant engines roared. Search ships. Lyra's expression darkened. "They found me." Noah looked toward the sky. "Those yours?" "No." "Then that's unfortunate." The ships grew louder. Several dropships descended through the clouds. Rebel forces, at least 50 soldiers. Lyra tried standing. Pain forced her back down. "Noah, leave." He folded his arms. "Why?" "They will kill you." "Probably." She stared. He seemed strangely calm. The first dropship landed half a kilometer away. Troops began spreading through the forest. Noah glanced at his cabin. Then he smiled. "Good thing I planned ahead." Lyra didn't like that smile. It was the smile of someone about to do something ridiculous. Noah pulled a small remote from his pocket. He pressed a button. Nothing happened. Then the forest exploded with noise. Hundreds of hidden speakers activated simultaneously. Predator calls echoed across the jungle. Terrifying roars shook the trees. The rebel soldiers immediately stopped. Several fired wildly into the darkness. "What did you do?" Lyra asked. "Psychology." The speakers changed sounds. Now it sounded like an entire army moving through the forest. Branches snapped. Footsteps thundered. Orders shouted. The rebels panicked. They thought reinforcements had arrived. Their formation collapsed. Some fled. Others hid. The confusion spread like wildfire. Lyra watched in disbelief. "You defeated them with speakers?" "No." Noah pointed toward the ground. A second later, hidden traps activated. Nets launched upward. Shock mines detonated. Mud pits swallowed vehicles. The jungle itself seemed to attack the invaders. Within minutes, the rebels were retreating. Noah grinned. That defeated them. Lyra could hardly believe what she was seeing. One unarmed human had outsmarted an entire military force. The Empire believed strength came from power. Humans believed strength came from creativity. For the first time in years, Lyra questioned everything she had been taught. And this was only the beginning. Lyra expected Noah's cabin to be a temporary shelter. She was wrong. The next morning, Noah led her deeper into the forest. The giant black trees of Karis 9 rose like towers above them, their roots twisted across the ground like frozen rivers. "Where are we going?" Lyra asked. "Home," Noah replied. "You already have a home." "No," he said with a grin. "That's just the front door." The answer made no sense. Then the ground opened. A massive root shifted aside, revealing a hidden elevator platform descending into darkness. Lyra froze. "What is this?" Noah stepped onto the platform. A surprise. The platform descended hundreds of meters underground. As they dropped lower, lights illuminated enormous tunnels carved beneath the planet. Lyra's eyes widened. Entire buildings filled the cavern. Farms, workshops, power stations, research laboratories. Thousands of humans moved through the underground city. Children played in open plazas. Engineers repaired machines. Farmers harvested glowing plants. The impossible city stretched farther than Lyra could see. Her jaw slowly dropped. "No human colony exists on Karis 9. Noah smiled. "Officially, you're right. The city had remained hidden for nearly 20 years. While the galaxy fought wars over territory, humans had quietly built something extraordinary beneath one of the most dangerous planets in known space." Lyra stared at the giant holographic map hanging in the center of the city. Red markers covered half the galaxy. "What are those?" Noah's smile disappeared. "Problems." The room grew silent. A woman approached them wearing a gray engineer uniform. She extended her hand. "Director Maya Chen." Lyra recognized the name immediately. Every military academy in the galaxy taught about Maya Chen. She was considered one of humanity's greatest strategic minds. The woman was supposed to be dead, yet here she stood, very much alive. "We've been watching the Veyron Empire for years," Maya said. "Why?" "Because someone has been manipulating your government." Lyra frowned. The statement sounded absurd. The Empire ruled nearly 50 systems. Nobody could manipulate it. Maya activated a hologram. Images appeared above the table. Destroyed colonies, burned cities, mass graves, alien worlds reduced to ruins. Lyra's expression hardened. "I know about these attacks." "No," Maya replied quietly. "You know what your government told you." The hologram changed. New evidence appeared. Secret communications, hidden fleet movements, military orders. Lyra felt cold. The documents showed something impossible. Someone had deliberately created wars across the galaxy. Entire civilizations had been pushed into conflict. Millions had died. Not because of hatred, not because of politics, because someone wanted chaos. "Who?" Lyra whispered. Maya enlarged one final image. A symbol appeared. A black spiral surrounded by silver stars. The room fell silent. Even Noah's relaxed expression vanished. "The Ascendants," Maya said. Lyra felt her heart stop. The Ascendants were legends. Ancient beings rumored to exist beyond explored space. Most people believed they were myths, ghost stories, children's tales. But Maya's face showed no doubt. "They are real," she said. "And they are coming." Before Lyra could respond, alarms suddenly erupted throughout the city. Red lights flashed. People began running. Engineers rushed toward control stations. Noah looked up sharply. "That's not a drill." A voice echoed through the underground complex. The holographic map changed instantly. Hundreds of ships appeared above Karis 9. Not rebel ships, not Veyron ships. Something else, something larger, something older. The vessels were unlike anything Lyra had ever seen. Their hulls appeared almost alive. Dark metallic surfaces shifted and moved like liquid. The symbol of the black spiral covered every ship. The Ascendants had arrived. People across the city stared at the display. Fear spread through the crowd. Maya remained calm. "How long?" An officer checked his console. 20 minutes until orbital control is lost." Another officer looked pale. "They know we're here." Noah crossed his arms. "Of course they do." Lyra turned toward him. "You expected this?" Noah nodded. "For months." The answer shocked her. The human colony had known this day was coming, and yet nobody seemed surprised. Afraid? Yes. Panicked? No. The humans immediately began preparing. Engineers activated hidden defenses. Scientists secured research data. Pilots ran toward underground hangars. Everyone moved with purpose, with discipline, with determination. Lyra realized something important. The humans were outnumbered, outgunned, outmatched, and somehow they still believed they could win. Maya looked directly at Lyra. "I need an answer." "What answer?" The director pointed toward the hologram. "Will you help us save the galaxy?" Lyra looked at the approaching fleet, then at the humans around her. The same humans she once considered weak. The same humans who built an entire city beneath a death world. The same humans who prepared for impossible odds with courage instead of fear. For the first time in her life, she knew exactly where she belonged. She straightened her shoulders. Her warrior instincts returned. Not for the Empire, not for revenge, for something greater. "I'll help." Maya smiled. "Good." The hologram zoomed toward the enemy fleet. Thousands of dark ships advanced through the stars. The invasion had begun, and humanity's greatest secret was finally about to be revealed. The Ascendant fleet filled the sky. From the surface of Charis 9, they looked like black scars stretching across the stars. Thousands of ships drifted into orbit, blocking out entire sections of the heavens. Inside the underground city, every screen displayed the same terrifying image. The enemy had arrived, and by every military calculation in the galaxy, humanity should have lost. The Ascendants possessed technology centuries beyond anything known. Their ships were larger, their weapons were stronger, their armies were endless. Yet Director Maya Chen stood calmly before the command table. No fear, no panic, only focus. "Status report," she ordered. A young officer swallowed hard. "Enemy fleet strength exceeds our estimates by 400%. Another officer added, "They can destroy this planet within 2 hours." The room fell silent. Noah leaned against a console. "That's actually better than I expected." Several officers stared at him. Lyra shook her head. "Humans are insane." "Frequently," Noah agreed. Maya activated a hologram. A single blue symbol appeared above the table. Lyra frowned. "That's our defense plan?" "No," Maya replied. "That's our weapon." The room grew quiet. "What weapon?" Lyra asked. Maya smiled slightly. "The most dangerous weapon humanity ever created." The hologram expanded. Instead of showing a superweapon or warship, it displayed something unexpected. Communication networks, trade routes, educational systems, agricultural projects, medical programs. Millions of connections spread across the galaxy. Lyra looked confused. "Those aren't weapons." Maya looked directly at her. "Exactly." The first Ascendant transmission suddenly appeared on every screen. A towering alien figure materialized. Its face was pale silver. Its eyes glowed white. Its voice echoed through the city. "Surrender." The word carried absolute confidence. The Ascendants had conquered civilizations for thousands of years. Victory was routine. Defeat was unimaginable. The alien continued, "Your resistance is illogical." Noah raised an eyebrow. "That's usually when humans become difficult." The Ascendant ignored him. "We control superior technology, superior resources, superior force." Maya nodded. "All true." Several people looked at her in surprise. The Ascendant paused. It had expected denial, not agreement. Maya stepped forward. "And yet you're afraid." For the first time, the alien's expression changed. Only slightly. But Lyra noticed. "So," Maya continued, "let's stop pretending." The room became silent. The Ascendant stared at her. Maya activated another hologram. Thousands of worlds appeared. Human worlds, alien worlds, independent colonies, former enemy territories, every planet connected by glowing lines. "You've spent centuries conquering civilizations one at a time," Maya said. "Destroying trust, creating fear, starting wars. The Ascendant remained silent. Unfortunately for you, Maya continued, humans build relationships faster than you destroy them. Across the galaxy, millions of receivers activated. Every message humanity had secretly prepared was transmitted. Evidence, records, proof. The truth about the Ascendants spread instantly. Every government received it, every military command, every civilian network. The secret manipulation of galactic history was exposed. Entire star systems learned the truth within minutes. The reaction was immediate. One by one, lights appeared on the holographic map. Then hundreds, then thousands. Governments sent responses, not surrender notices. Declarations, alliance requests, military support, volunteer fleets. The map exploded with activity. Lyra stared in disbelief. "What is happening?" Maya smiled. The weapon. The Ascendants had mastered fear. Humanity had mastered cooperation. For decades, humans had quietly helped colonies recover from disasters, shared technology, delivered food, built infrastructure, solved problems. Many species saw humans as annoying optimists. Now those same relationships became humanity's greatest strength. Fleet markers began appearing around Karis 9, then more, then hundreds more. Ships emerged from hyperspace across the sector. Former rivals arrived first, then trading partners, then worlds humanity had saved years earlier. An officer laughed in shock. "That's impossible." "No," Noah said softly. "That's friendship." The number of allied ships continued climbing. 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. The Ascendant fleet suddenly looked much smaller. For the first time, uncertainty appeared on the enemy commander's face. Its voice returned. "This coalition cannot last." Maya smiled. "Maybe." The Ascendant narrowed its eyes. "But it only needs to last today." Across the galaxy, a message spread between countless species, not because they were ordered, not because they were forced, because they chose to stand together. Lyra watched tears form in the eyes of several officers. The impossible was happening. The galaxy was uniting, not under an empire, not under fear, under hope. The Ascendants launched the first attack. Thousands of dark ships surged forward. But this time they faced something they had never encountered. A united galaxy. Battle erupted across orbit. Light filled the stars. Allied fleets fought side by side. Species that had once hated each other defended one another. Human engineers adapted tactics in real time. Human diplomats coordinated hundreds of governments. Human scientists shared technology across allied fleets. Every strength humanity possessed became a force multiplier. Hours later, the impossible happened. The Ascendant line broke. Their ships began retreating. Then more followed. Then entire formations turned away. For the first time in recorded history, the Ascendants withdrew. Cheers erupted throughout the underground city. People laughed, cried, embraced each other. The nightmare was over. Lyra stood beside Noah as the first sunlight touched the horizon above Karis 9. "We won," she whispered. "No," Noah replied. She looked at him. The human smiled toward the sky filled with allied ships. "We reminded the galaxy how to win together." Months later, the Alliance of Worlds was officially formed. Not an empire, not a military dictatorship, a partnership. And when historians wrote about the day the Ascendants were defeated, they often focused on fleets, strategies, and battles. But Lyra remembered something else. A wounded warrior, a lonely jungle, a small cabin, and a human making dinner when every sensible creature would have been running for their life. Because in the end, humanity's greatest weapon was never technology. It was the stubborn belief that even in the darkest moment, there was always a reason to help someone else. And that belief changed the galaxy forever.